And welcome back. I am Josh Hart. This is RNCN, and we're here today talking about one of my favorite topics, alcohol. Not just any alcohol, the best alcohol as far as clear gin goes, and that's Hendrick's gin. I got an email in my inbox just the other day that said, hey, a new expression from Hendrick's is on the way. You got to try it. Of course, I said yes. Drop everything. Please let me introduce you to Seb, because I can't say his full name. It's super fancy. Seb, the national brand ambassador for Hendrick's. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for coming in today.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. My name is Sébastien Derbomé. I know. It's a little bit.
Yeah, gifted. You were blessed with a beautiful name. So you're the national brand ambassador for Hendrick's Gin. And again, even before I got into, writing about alcohol and cocktails, Hendrick's was my if I was going to drink gin, it was Hendrick's. I like the flavor. I like the boldness that it has. All of those things. I love the juniper in Hendrick's and how it's forward. If you're going to drink gin, why drink gin that's not forward with juniper, which what makes gin. That's a whole thing. So I'm so happy you joined me today. You're talking about a new expression. Tell me about that.
Okay, so as you mentioned before, like Hendrick's has been your favorite. It's been my favorite as well too as a bartender before I even became a brand ambassador. For his flavor profile, but we've been doing this since 1999 now with one expression, and a lot of things happened recently. In the Hendrick's world, we built a new distillery called the Gin Palace. I don't know if you knew that. Yeah, it's gorgeous. You have to Google it, look it up. Amazing. And before we were doing everything out of a bunker from the World War II, something really
underground, with mole people carrying barrels around,
something like that. With too still, something totally unsexy. But now we got like a brand new spot. But anyway, Lesley Gracie, our master distiller, always been really creative already to come up with this product. That was already a massive achievement. But what she was lacking is a lack of space, and now she got more space. So she got a cabinet of curiosity. And this is a little cabinet when she can mix all those weird flavors and stuff like that.
Good.
Oh yeah. And
see, when I hear cabinet of curiosity, my mind doesn't go alcohol. So I'm glad you clarified. Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
I was like, all right, let's take a turn, but I like it, Seb. Let's go for the ride. All right,
let's
focus
on that. So let me tell you a beautiful story actually about this cabinet of curiosity. No, more actually about Midsummer Solstice, which is why we're here today. So Midsummer Solstice is a limited edition from Hendrick's Gin, and how it came to life, it's actually a beautiful romantic story. We had a global ambassador called Duncan McRae, and he was working for the brand for several years, and obviously you build friendship with your master distiller when you're an ambassador, and he was really close from Lesley, and he got married in 2007, and he had a request for Lesley saying, listen, I want to do a Midsummer Solstice theme for my wedding. Would you mind creating something special for me? And she found out, the bouquet of the bride, found out all the flowers in the bouquet, and decided to recreate, using Hendrick's Gin, create something surrounding all the aromas, around the bouquet of the bride. Wow. She did that. She did about 6 bottles, gifted to him for the wedding. And we didn't think about it that much for many months until the family heard about that story and requested to have a little sample of this, deal liquid that Lesley did, by herself on the side, and they loved it. And they said, Lesley, once the big distillery is up and running, we'd love you to be able to reproduce this for people to really enjoy this liquid because they saw it was beautiful. And that's what we did. She bring back together all ideas, trying to bring this to a larger scales, and we were able to do a limited edition this year only of this wedding beautiful romantic liquid.
I'm getting a lot of different things about the bottle already. One, you can see
color, right?
Yeah, you can see the color of the bottle is purple, very romantic, and so it's going to have hints of like what rose and those kind of things in it. Or no?
Still. So it's true to Hendrick's itself. So still 11 botanicals and the essences of cucumber and roses after the distillation process. what we added to this, it's what Lesley call a floral essence. So it's a mix of different extraction, vacuum distillation, regular distillation of different flowers that she put together herself, and she added at the end of the process as well, like the cucumber and rose essences.
That's amazing.
It is beautiful, and you're glad that you can see through it now, so you know when you need to run to the bottle shop before you finish.
Instead of going, no,
yeah, no,
I thought there was time. I thought there was time.
How many times you grab this, you pour a glass, and you're like, really?
It's gonna be a bad day.
We heard you, people, and now now you can see through. Yeah.
Well, I would love to try.
Let's do it.
Can you walk me through? Can you walk me through what it's supposed to?
Well,
what do I have?
I would love to tell me what because I hate when you do this tasting and the host tell you everything, and then you're like, oh, thank you, man, you kind of spoil it for me. Please tell me, and then I'll guide you through some of the aromas and
I always hate
flavors.
doing this.
Come on, really?
I always feel like
don't
an
be shy.
idiot. I'm like, I
really?
smell oranges.
No. And this is the things like Lesley Gracie. Okay, just to put you at ease, Lesley Gracie think about a liquid and a recipe as shapes. Okay, so when she creates something, she doesn't like to have it too sweet or too bitter or too floral. She wants something which is spherical. She likes the shape of like the sphere. She wants something kind of like tick all the boxes. So that's why Hendrick's is so round and beautiful and you see perfectly balanced. You have the same here, even if we add extra floral aroma.
Yeah,
you still have this balance of flavor.
Because I'm getting the floral, obviously. It's there. Yeah, I'm getting all the Hendrick's normal, the cucumber. I still smell citrus, which is
definitely
okay.
The citrus and the juniper berries are still there.
I still smell like it.
Yeah.
I think no, that can't be right. Pass it through.
No. It's because that's because what you mentioned before. Like this is still a gin. And a gin, you have to have some citrus element. You have to have some piney element, which is from the juniper berries.
Yeah.
If you don't have that, then you're not really dealing with a gin. Like I know there is a lot of things out there now, a lot of different flavors. But if you want to be true still to the category, you have to have those citrus and piney, element from the juniper. So you still have that, but it's a big,
it's amazing,
big floral, sweet floral. I got some exotic kind of, aromas myself. I mean, when I smell this, I almost have this kind of like passion fruit kind of, on the nose. But then I invite you to taste it.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And here this is an explosion of flavor.
That's impressive.
This is still, this is still gin. It's again on the palate, this piney aroma. You get the lemon peels. You get still a bit of kick of spice, and the peppery kind of.
I was afraid it was going to be overkill.
No.
And it's not. And
to be
spot on.
I was like you. I was like, hold on, we're doing something more floral.
Yeah.
What is that going to be like? Drinking orange blossom water?
Yeah, exactly,
I don't want to do that. No one want to do that.
No,
it's not. It's still full of character. Really,
So
like
the bartender in you, because when I think Hendrick's and gin, I always kind of go with a cocktail. Even like I said, a tonic.
Yeah.
I very rarely do just straight gin on ice.
Okay.
Usually it's a tonic and lime. Every once in a while, a splash of lime is fine.
Yeah.
But if you were doing this with a cocktail,
we actually had a lot of play around with my colleague ambassadors, and what we love to do with this is spritz, because this scream spring, summer, and when you look at the flavor profile and when you taste it, you're like, oh my god, I just want to do a spritz with this. So we try with elderflower liquor, different type of prosecco or sparkling wine or even champagne. To be fair, if you're a fan of like,
we had some champagne.
Oh,
there
well,
you go.
that goes really well with champagne. Absolutely. Let's crack a bottle now. But yeah, we did spritz recipe, fresh grapefruits, salty dog kind of style. Amazing. That go really well with it. Obviously, we also try in a gin and tonic and a gin and soda. Fantastic. Slice of cucumber always work with Hendrick's. It's our signature garnish.
I was hanging out with someone who was a part of the family. And I had the audacity to have a Hendrick's and tonic with the wrong kind of cucumber. It wasn't the English cucumber, which is a total different thing. It was like just a normal American pickled cucumber. And he was like, I'm embarrassed. I am embarrassed. So
I have to be careful with that stuff.
Yeah. It's the English cucumber, folks. Get it right. And then you also have your other expression here as well, which is the standard. That's an amazing gin. I suggest if you don't have either one of these, go out and buy the twofer.
Definitely.
And then you kind of go back and forth and play with the profiles.
Yeah, it's they both from the same base of ingredients, but they still, if you want to compare them now, you'll still notice a big difference. So if you're a fan of Hendrick's, I definitely invite you to try Midsummer Solstice. And if you never try any of them, I will say, go with whatever you fancy.
Sure.
Don't be afraid of trying one or another and thinking, oh, I'm not gonna like it. I mean, it's still a similar flavor profile. This one is kind of like on steroids and flowers, a little bit.
Extra touch. When you say limited edition,
yes.
Is that a genuine limited edition?
It is. We didn't want to make it like a long-term liquid, just because we have now, as I say, a new distillery. And we want to be able to experiment, and we want to be able to bring a lot of new products to people, and we just want to keep it exciting. So this is going to be a one-off.
So I've been burned before by the limit. Go out and buy two, because you'll regret it when it's done and they're gone, and you want to get more and you can't. Thank you so much for coming on
pleasure.
the show.
Thank you
I
for having me.
appreciate it. Is there I know with Scotch it's Salou. Is there a thing that you do when you're drinking? No, not Salou. It's Solange. What is it? Solange.
Yeah. Well, I'm originally French, so what about we say santé?
Santé. Okay, there you go. Santé. Thank you. Have a phenomenal day.
My pleasure. Please do. Cheers. Thank you so much for having me.
Man, that's good.